solving quadratic equations. There are four methods of solving quadratic equations. One, by factorization. Of course, if factorizes. Not every quadratic can be factorized. So if it does factorize and asks you to solve it by factorization, you must use method of factorization. Two, by completing the square. Three, by formula. And finally, by graphical methods. In this lesson, I'll be talking about solving by factorization. So all the questions that I'll give you are factorizable. We've done factorization of quadratic expression in the past, so it should be easy for you to follow what happens next. Say we have x squared minus 2x minus 35. This is not an equation, that is an expression. When I put that equal to 0, then I have got an equation. So as before, you need to factorize. It's simple factorization. Question mark plus question mark equals minus 2, and question mark times question mark equals minus 35. If you haven't seen my video on factorization of quadratics, please look at that one, because you will be glad to practice those. So the two numbers that comes to give me minus 35 and add to give me minus 2 is minus 7 and plus 5. Check. Minus 7 add 5 is minus 2. Minus times plus minus, 7 times 5, 35. Therefore, the expression this side factorizes to x minus 7, x plus 5. Don't forget your equals 0. Now we don't have an expression, we have an equation. Multiplication of two brackets, each bracket means a number inside, is 0. Only 0 times a number makes 0. I mean, if you look, what is 0 times 8? Is 0. What is 0 times 5? Is 0. So 0 times any number is 0. So the fact that I've got multiplication of two terms, this number and that number 0, either of these or both of them could have been cause of that 0. So this is why we write either, according to this statement, x minus 7 was 0, or x plus 5 was 0. By balancing both sides, adding 7 to both sides, one solution is x equals 7. By removing 5 from both sides here, to undo, add, we take away. So x equals minus 5. So the solution to this quadratic are two answers, 7 and minus 5. What this means, if you replace x as 7 in here, you get 0. If you replace x as minus 5 here, you also get 0. So x as 7 and minus 5 are called the roots or the solution of this quadratic equation. Let's do another question. X squared minus 9 equals 0. We can do this without factorization actually. Method 1 is to add 9 to both sides. X squared equals plus 9 or 9. Then taking square root from both sides. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 9 is plus and minus 3. because plus 3 times plus 3 is 9, minus 3 times minus 3 is 9, so we have two answers, plus and minus 3. Or you could have factorized x squared minus 9. If you remember, I said when you got two terms with a minus between, it can be factorized. Don't forget your equals 0 here. Square root, repeat, plus between, minus between. So we can say either x plus 3 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. Here, balance, x equals minus 3, one of the solutions. Add 3 here to get rid of plus 3 on the x side. X equals plus 3. Same two answers. So we can set the roots. The roots are plus 3 and minus 3. Or we could say the solutions are plus 3 and minus 3. So the roots or the solutions. More solving equations, quadratic equations. This time I use a harder type quadratic equation to solve. 2x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals 0. If you remember, again from lesson on factorization, we are looking for two numbers. When we add is plus 7, and when we times is 2 times 5 plus 2 times plus 5, which is plus 10. The two numbers times to give me 10 and add up to 7 are 2 and 5. Both going to be plus 2, plus 5. Use the quick method which I taught you. Since the question starts with 2x squared, I'm putting 2x in each, and then those two numbers which we found here, plus 2 and plus 5, here. We're going to correct it. First, we need to factorize a 2. Here I can't factorize anything. And I get rid of this. So this is my factorization. X plus 1, 2x plus 5 equals 0. And now, if you remember, we get rid of the wrong line. Then we say either x plus 1 equals 0 or 2x plus 5 equals 0. From here, if I remove 1 from each side, x equals minus 1, one of the solutions or one of the roots. Here remove minus 5 from both sides. 2x equals minus 5. Divide both sides by 2. So x equals minus 5 over 2, because 2 and 2 cancels here, or minus 2.5. So two answers, two solutions, two roots for this question. Now I'm going to use the method of applying formula in order to solve the quadratic equations. So use formula to solve quadratic equations. The formula that you need to memorize is, if we have a quadratic like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are constants, numbers attached to x squared, x, and the constant on its own. The numbers multiplied by x squared by x and the number on its own can be obtained by this formula. It's called the quadratic formula. On the top, minus b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So that you need to memorize. So let's use a quadratic equation that it can actually be calculated without using a calculator, or can be done by also factorization. For example, 2x squared minus 9x plus 7 equals 0. How do I know? Should I be using the factorization or the formula? Often in the question, they tell you if they want by factorization. Sometimes they say find x to one decimal place or two decimal places, or one significant figure or two significant figure. You can see that there is no round number. So this is when we use the formula. But here, let's list all the information I have. A is a number next to x squared. Coefficient of x squared is 2. Coefficient of x is 9. Sorry, minus 9. And coefficient of, no coefficient, c is plus 7. These are the letters that you want to replace in this formula. So let's write the formula, which is minus b plus and minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So we replace now. X equals. If you don't want to make a mistake, all substitutions must be replaced inside a set of brackets. So we have minus b inside bracket minus 9. Just because b is a negative value, that doesn't mean you should ignore that minus here. It's called minus whatever b is. If b is a plus number, we put a plus number here. It's a negative number, we put a negative number here. Followed by plus and minus. All letters substitute inside a set of brackets. B, minus 9 squared, minus 4, a is 2, and c is 7 or plus 7. Divided by 2a, 2 lots of a, which is 2 lots of 2. Now, this can be done without use of calculator, or you can use a calculator. If you're using a calculator, once you consider the plus sign, when you finish, then replace plus with minus, and you find the other answer. So here we go. Minus times the minus is plus 9. Plus and minus. Minus 9 squared. That means minus 9 times minus 9. Minus times minus plus, 9 times 9 is 81. Then we have 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 7, 56. Minus times the plus is a minus, times the other plus is still a minus. 2 times 2 is 4. So here we have x equals plus 9. 81, take away 56. The answer is 25. Since this question was factorizable, you can see that this number will always be a square number. So plus 9 plus or minus square root of 25 is 5. 2 values now. once you consider plus sign, once you consider the minus sign. So we have plus 9 plus 5 over 4 and plus 9 minus 5 over 4. So 9 at 5, 14, divided by 4, dividing by 2, that's 7 over 2, or 3.5. Here 9 take away 5 is 4 over 4. The answer is 1. So there are two answers. X equals 3.5 and X equals 1. One more example on solving quadratic equation by formula. 5x squared minus 9x minus 2 equals 0. So again, because this is factorizable, you're going to end up with the round numbers. It won't be decimals going forever. Let's write our information down. A equals 5. B equals minus 9. And C equals minus 2. A, B, C. And what was the formula? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Then the formula x equals minus b plus and minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Let's replace. Minus b, minus open bracket, and b is minus 9. Plus and minus. B squared, inside bracket, b is minus 9. Close bracket, squared, minus 4. A is 5. Then c is minus 2. Divided by 2a, 2 lots of 5. Now it's just purely mental calculation. Minus times minus plus 9. Plus and minus. Minus 9 squared. Minus 9 times minus 9 is plus 81. Here we have minus times minus plus. 4 times 5, 20. 20 times 2 is 40. So plus 40 over 10. So x equals plus 9 plus and minus square root of 121. Square root of 121 is 11. So we have two roots, two solutions, two answers. Once you consider the plus, once you consider the minus. So x equals plus 9 plus 11 over 2, or x equals plus 9 minus 11. I'm sorry, where's that 2 here? It's 10 over 10. So we have 9 at 11, that's 20 over 10, which is 2, or thought of the answer. And 9 minus 10 is minus 2 over 10, which is minus 1/5. So the solutions are x equals 2 and x equals minus 1/5. Usually they put them together with the box rounded. The last example I give you, I will use both method of factorization and method of using the formula to get the solution to the quadratic equation. 3x squared minus x minus 24 equals 0. Let's do it by formula first. So A is 3. B is minus missing 1 here. A negative cannot appear on its own. If it's on its own, means the 1 is missing, is invisible. Therefore, C is minus 24. So using the formula, x equals minus b plus and minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. The term b squared minus 4ac is a very important term in mathematics. It's called the discriminant of the quadratic equation. And when you do A-levels, you do all sorts of things with the discriminant. Not at the moment. Let's replace. Minus b, minus, and b is already minus 1 there. Plus and minus, b squared. b inside bracket to the power of 2. Minus 4, a is 3, and c is minus 24. Divided by 2a, 2 lots of 3. So x equals minus times minus plus 1. 1 squared is 1. Question is, what is 4 times 3 times 24? 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 24, but you can work it out. 24 times 12. 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 2, 4. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 2, 2. So when you add, you get 288. So it's minus times minus plus 288 over 2 times 3, 6. So we have 1 or plus 1, plus and minus, square root of 289. Over 6. But 1 plus and minus square root of 289 is 17. 1 plus and minus 17 over 6. So it's either 1 plus 17 over 6 or 1 minus 17 over 6. So we have two values for x. 1 plus 17, that's 18, divided by 6 is 3. And here 1 minus 17 is minus 16 over 6, which is dividing by 2, minus 8/3, which is minus 2 and 2/3. Let's put these numbers in their own boxes. X equals 3 and x equals minus 2/3. Now, let's do this question by factorization because they do factorize. I missed the 2 here, I'm afraid. So 2 minus 2 and 2/3. Okay. Same question, this time by means of factorization. 3x squared minus x minus 24 equals 0. Harder type factorization. Question mark plus question mark equals minus 1. And question mark times question mark equals 3 times minus 24 is minus 72. Two numbers come to give me 72 with a gap of 1 is 9 and 8. It should be minus 9 and plus 8. Check. Minus times plus minus, 9 times 8, 72. Minus 9 add plus 8 is minus 1. So doing the quick method, which is quick but start wrong, then we have to correct ourselves. Since start with 3x squared, you put 3x in each, which is not correct. Then put these two numbers here. minus 9 and plus 8. To make this correct, then we have to factorize each bracket as far as we can. The first bracket, we can factorize a 3. Second bracket, there's nothing I can factorize. Then get rid of that. So we have x minus 3 times 3x plus 8 equals 0. So either x minus 3 equals 0 or 3x plus 8 equals 0. Here, balance x equals plus 3 as one of my answers. Here, balance by putting minus 8 on both sides. 3x equals minus 8. Divide both sides by 3. So x equals minus 8 thirds, which is minus 2 and 2 thirds. So put the answer to this question together in a box. Two values, x equals 3 or plus 3, and the other one, x equals minus 2 and 2 thirds. The same two answers that we got previously by formula. I hope you have enjoyed your maths lesson today. I try to make it as enjoyable as possible. Till next lesson, bye.